But how did they survive the extreme lunar temperatures and function flawlessly at the exact right moment?
That didn't explain how one guy was 6 foot, the other guy was 5'2". Welcome back to the channel, guys and girls. We got a great one for you today. We're going to delve into the deepest, darkest, creepiest. Well, are they the deepest? Are they the darkest? Are they the creepiest? Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment. I love hearing from y'all. Well, I don't, but you got to say that to the people. Hey. Love to see that movie. My question is, when are you going to bring it out?
One of the main reasons Eric Stoltz was recast as Marty McFly in Back to the Future is because he interpreted the film differently than everyone else. Early in the filmmaking process, during a table read of the script, the cast and crew had just finished reading. The room erupted in laughter as everyone shared how much they loved the script. Then, it came to Eric's turn to speak. He said, "Well, I think it's a tragedy, really." His comments sucked the air out of the room, leaving it completely silent. He was then asked, "Why do you think it's a tragedy?" Eric explained his perspective. At the end of the film, Marty remembers a past and a family that no longer exist. His new family are essentially strangers who have lived a completely different life. Meanwhile, this new family has lost their son, as the Marty they knew has been replaced by someone who coincidentally shares the same name. Furthermore, the movie tells us that all of this is perfectly fine. Why? Because Marty now has a nicer house, a new car, and so many material things. In Eric's view, Marty has lost his entire life, but has gained material possessions in return.
Duh, that's the point. How are we gonna sell you all of these gadgets and goobers and boppers if we don't sell you this movie talking about time travel? Yeah, you can go back and be awesome. Now I see why they fired him, talking too much.
In hindsight, Eric wasn't entirely wrong in his interpretation. However, this wasn't the mindset the filmmakers wanted from their lead actor, and it likely played a significant role in the decision to recast him.
Corruption, human trafficking, baby touchers, corrupt cops, judges, people on the House of Representatives, you name it. I've put them out there. And you know what people have done? They've sat back and watched.
This is the reason every single person needs to start learning AI. Imagine if you posted a picture of your window and someone screenshots it, right? Then goes and takes it and drops it into a tool, knowing the city that you live in. And then that tool goes and scrapes using artificial intelligence every single pixel in Google Maps of the city and finds the exact part of the block that you live in.
If someone... Are you giving us a tutorial? Do you mean if you decide to do it?
The exact floor, and even can face your window. This is exactly what we're facing. Everyone needs to start learning about AI today.
Celebrity controversies that most people seem to have forgotten about, but not me. Joel Madden of Good Charlotte was 26 years old when he dated 16-year-old Hillary Duff for 3 years. In a later interview, somebody had asked Hillary if she and Joel were sexually involved. And she said, and I quote, "I was 16 years old, dating a 26-year-old. I think everybody knows what we were up to."
Duh.
Katy Perry tricked a teenager into kissing her on the lips in an episode of American Idol. That teenager would go on to be arrested for possession of child pornography.
Did she pass her pedophilia demon on to him through the kiss? Probably not.
Travis Scott pretty much left his manager for dead in the studio when his manager, who was epileptic, started to have a seizure. Travis just went home. And he texted his manager the next day and fired him, saying, and I quote, "I can't have a manager that's shaking on the ground and shit."
I mean, he can't, can he? And it's unfortunate. What do you want the guy to do?
Let's not even talk about what happened at Astro World when multiple people died and he encouraged the crowd to put up their middle fingers at the ambulance that was trying to save people.
Oh, I heard about that. That one of his exes was driving the ambulance. So I don't know that he was saying F you to the ambulance more so than he was talking to his ex. Cause like, haha bitch, you could have been a star, but now you driving the ambulance. Fuck you. I think I heard that story somewhere.
Famous film director Roman Polanski drugged and raped a teenager.
That I catch him, get him. Can't be out here raping people, bro.
In exile ever since in Europe to avoid prosecution in the United States. Not to mention the horrible things that he allegedly did to his wife, Sharon Tate, leading up to the murders by the Manson family. Steven Tyler, beloved singer of Aerosmith, had a relationship with a 16-year-old girl when he was 25. He convinced the parents to sign over legal guardianship to him so he could take her on tour with him and cross state lines without being arrested. He eventually pressured her into aborting their son when she was 17.
Well, dude does look like a lady, so, you know, give him a little slack.
Emma Roberts was arrested for beating the shit out of Evan Peters. Jerry Seinfeld dated a 17-year-old girl when he was 39. She was still in high school.
Jerry, what's up with that?
That's Prince. And that's David Blaine, the magician for the uninitiated. Now, let's see what Cat Williams has to say about these two individuals.
Now, let's talk about this. I know that we all have heroes in show business.
Yeah.
One of your all-time heroes, I'm told, is Prince, and you got to meet him fairly recently. How did that go?
It was wonderful. He was all the things I thought he was going to be. He was he's a genius and smart, and I think he's David Blaine secretly. He's like a
David
magician.
Blaine, you think he's a magician?
I think he is. I was talking to him, and he was like, would you care for some tea? And I was like, yeah, of course. And he was gone. He was already gone. Then he came back from another part of the room with like.
You know what makes me sad? People that are so indoctrinated that they believe the TV more than the guy screaming from the top of the rooftops that, hey, you're being lied to, and here is the truth, and here's the evidence of the truth, and the indoctrination is strong, I guess. But Tyler, it can't be David Blaine. He's so much taller than Prince. Well, yeah, you know who's short? Cat Williams. And Cat Williams, he did the dancing, and he did the interviews. Follow along. The dancing. The dancing. When he dances, he looks like that, and when he interviews, he looks like that. It's not that hard, people. Those are two different people, and they're supposedly both supposed to be Prince. Wake up!
That didn't explain how one guy was 6 foot, the other guy was 5'2". But, I'm listening.
Honest, I'm kind of getting sick of trying to wake you people up. I'm gonna get in the comments, but he's too tall. Watch the whole video. And of course, all for entertainment purposes, yada, yada, yada. Look, Prince didn't exist. He was played by David Blaine and by freaking Cat Williams. He was never a real person. Figure it out.
Wait, he was played by both of them? But I thought, okay, all right. I'm not saying nothing. Okay.
Figure it out. Figure it out. You don't live on a ball. God is real. Jesus loves you. The Bible's truth. Figure it out. It's time to figure it out.
In the 1850s, just after the last reset, there began a massive push to reintroduce technology, culture, and even people to the world. World's fairs had these massive exhibits called live infant incubators. These exhibits were insanely popular, drawing millions of visitors. They even had nurses in uniform acting like caretakers. The babies weren't premature. They were being artificially gestated. This wasn't just a medical breakthrough. This was unfathomably advanced technology. Artificial wombs, mass baby production. Sounds a whole lot like a new world being repopulated after something big went down.
We are not in the business of giving out money. Honestly, I don't know what $5,000 will do for you.
Honestly, I don't know what $5,000 will do for you.
Jasmine, baby girl, I have a really serious question for you. Ho, is you cool? The fuck do you mean you don't know what Americans is gonna do with $5,000? The fuck do you mean they ain't in the business of giving away money? You know.
Now, if she was in the strip club, she would be like, yo, I know what you can do with your $5,000.
How much money you niggas done gave away to Ukraine? Do you know know how much money you niggas gave away to the migrants? You niggas are the reasons why Americans don't care about migrants anymore. Because y'all was giving them all our goddamn money. All our goddamn money. I'm sorry, man. I've been trying to stop raising my voice so much. I've been trying to be more stoic. But Jasmine, baby, you got me fucked up. $150,000, $200,000 a year salary. But you got a net worth of $7 million. Properties and shit all over the place with your stealing and embezzling ass. I don't know what the average American is gonna do with $5,000. Bitch, what? We don't give away no money. Shut up. Y'all told them immigrant niggas you was gonna give them $25,000 to buy a house. Now maybe I'm slow, but that sounds like you're giving away some goddamn money. Jasmine!
Still falling for the temporary structures narrative? Oh goodness, of course you are. So anyways, check this out. The mainstream narrative will tell you these megacities were just a bunch of plaster-covered hay bales built by a bunch of pilgrims. Hell, I've even seen the claim that, get this, many were built with stucco and then painted with compressed air squirt guns for quickness. World's fairs. Entire cities fully powered by free atmospheric energy, complete with massive impossible structures, weren't temporary buildings, but rather remnants of the old world they were actively erasing. Eventually, all torn down like it was nothing. Baby farms and all. But why destroy these grand buildings right after showcasing them?
Yes, why? Where were they in the first place? Did the people not know they were there? There would be some records. There would be some, what do you call it, verbal records? You tell from generation to generation to generation. No, those buildings was there. I remember they was looking, maybe they cleaned them off. You know, like the pyramids, it's like under a bunch of rock and then somebody clears all the debris away. Somebody leave that in the comments, because we're told they just built these things, which would mean they weren't there at first, and then they destroyed them. But these guys are saying, no, they were already there. So is there a count of people remembering seeing them there? I don't know.
Oh, right, because they were never built in the 1800s, and they were in a bunch of plaster-covered hay bales built with stucco and then painted with compressed air squirt gun.
I'm not gonna lie, I mean this in the most humble way possible. I don't always like when people are like, what, you think you're too good for, what, you think you're better than? Because what if I were to say yes?
I would say I believe you, because you're beautiful.
If you're only being nice cause you wanna lay the pipe, you're a simp. You're a simp when you pay for all the clothes and then she says thank you bro, you're a simp. You're a simp, you're a simp, you're a simp.
Okay, you got me. Jeez, congratulations. No, he got pulled.
Speculate on something here that most of you will probably think I'm crazy for. But if they have robots that are this good, and I know probably as much as you know that they have technology way, way better than they let us see, well then what's better than this? I'll get to that in a second, but first what you need to know is they practice their technology on us and see if we're smart enough to know that that's a hologram. So when they use their holograms in different ways, they know if we're going to be able to tell the difference or not. And now back to our what could possibly be better robotic technology than that, because that looks pretty good. And let me first start off by saying what it's not. It's not this. A lot of people thought this was real, but that is just a woman playing the part and doing a really good job. But that's what they also like to do.
It looks like a woman playing the part, because I wouldn't need the robot to do all of that extra stuff. All right, get away from the table now.
Muddy the waters, so we don't know the difference. Now here's where the speculation comes in. I've done some videos on these guys, but this isn't that type of video where I say one is playing the other. Oh no, this is the video where I say, I think Keanu is literally a robot in this premiere of Sonic the Hedgehog. Why don't we first listen to what Jim has to say about playing this role?
Now, a lot of people said, I don't know if you should do the Sonic the Hedgehog movie, Jim. And I thought, you know what? It's the perfect character on the dawn of the AI and robotic revolution, you know? And I'm right in the zeitgeist right now. I'm in a sweet spot.
Now, on top of looking completely lifeless here at this premiere, I want you to look at how he's moving. And as you watch his robotic, lifeless movements, I want you to also keep in mind what Jim said about being at the zeitgeist of the AI robotic movement. Now, I know Keanu is known for not being the sharpest tool in the shed, but this looks like something different to me. Now, pay particular attention to how his hands move and just how robotic he seems.
You and Jim Carrey. I met him socially in passing once, like 6-7 years ago. But then really just hanging out for the first time in London at the premiere of Sonic 3, yeah.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
And 2024 is coming to a close. Do you have anything on your bucket list for 2025?
I don't want to do bucket lists. I don't want to kick buckets. I don't want to put anything in the bucket. I don't know.
He literally misses his face where he's going to itch here. That seems off. And how he waves seems off, like...
Maybe he was getting a little sniffy in the bathroom and he didn't want to raise any suspicions. So he pretended like, oh, I don't know where my nose is at. Could that maybe be? You guys leave it in the comments.
He's not human. Now, like I said, this is pure speculation. I could be 1,000% wrong here, but I'll tell you one thing I know I'm not wrong about. The fact that they want us confused. They don't want us to be able to tell the difference between robotic and real life. And like I said, I think they intentionally muddy the waters to keep us confused because they claim these are robotics, and I think these are actually just actresses again. Now, like I said, I could be wrong, and that could just be Keanu being a goof, but I would almost guarantee that we probably wouldn't be able to tell the difference between real and robotics based on the technology they have and the technology they're keeping hidden from us. But of course, this is all entertainment. I know that Jim and Keanu definitely aren't the same people, and that's definitely not a robot.
Who's Becky? Who's Becky? Who's Becky?
Manager at work?
No, that's not what I heard from somebody. I saw you at the mall with some girl.
I work at the mall.
No, you were with some girl. You were with some girl.
My manager, who's
No,
Becky,
you wasn't.
and we
You
were
with
on
some
break.
girl named Becky.
Yeah.
Shut up, I'm recording.
Becky's my...
Did that girl say, shut up, I'm recording?
You're not. I saw, and I have evidence too. You really think I'm dumb? You serious? You really think I'm dumb?
You know I work at the mall, and and I told you about my coworkers. Becky's my manager.
You honestly think I'm dumb?
I had to cover.
No, you think I'm dumb? Who's Becky? I said. Who is Becky? Hello?
I was on break, and she was
I'll give you 10 seconds before I explode, and I want you to tell me the truth. I don't want no lies that I don't have dumb ass in my forehead. So who is Becky right now?
Becky was my manager. She was asking me all my life.
Why are you lying?
Yo, what the fuck? She's my manager. I was on vacation. She wanted to know
World
what the fuck.
Stop lying.
I'm not.
Sorry, I'm not asking for work. Okay, I'm gonna need you to do me a favor. I'm gonna need you to go to the apartment right now and get all your clothes before I go home right now, and I'll throw it out the window. I don't really care because I've been so nice to you. You're so freaking stupid, yo. Why you gotta cheat on me? I'll cheat on you.
That was terrifying. And what if he wasn't even cheating? I can hear some people in the audience saying, yeah, he probably was. Why are you with him if you don't even trust him in the first place? You can't trust his word? This is traumatizing to a lot of us guys. And before you women say, think how I feel, this is a part of why men are like, you know what? I don't even need no girl. I definitely don't need no wife. I'm good.
Let her, bro. Let her lose you. Let her lose the man that loves her unconditionally, that supports her throughout no matter what. Let her text the guys. Let her text her guy best friend and everything like that. Let her lose you, bro. Let her, because there's going to come a point in the day that there's actually going to become a woman in your life that you won't have to worry about. Won't have to worry about texting other guys. Won't have to worry about the cheat. Won't have to worry about her bringing you down, because she, at the end of the day, that real one that's for you will actually love you for who you are than who we aren't. Because instead of a lot of women out here wanting to fill the void with the nice guys and using the nice guy to fill the void because they can't be over by themselves, they can't separate themselves, let her lose you. Because at the end of the day, like I promise you, you'll get a text from them eventually sitting there saying that they miss you, they loved you, they wish you that you could come back, and you just tell them, fuck no. Why would you want me then? You didn't want me then, why do you want me now? Why? Oh, because he ended up using you just like I said you would, like I planned it out to be? Fuck no. Like I said, let her go. Let her lose you, bro. You're all good. You dodged a fucking bullet.
I just gotta stop him there. Ah, youth. That woman doesn't exist, man. And when we're young, as guys, we think that woman's out there. I know you women in the audience, you think you're that woman for your man. And I don't want to blow him up. He's probably told you that you are. And right now you are. But feelings change. Not his, yours. Because you're not really secure with who you are as a human being. And that's not his fault. You were already insecure before he met you. And you know that, you weird bitch. But when your husband, much like me, when he was young, like this guy, our logic told us this woman has got to exist. But as you get older, you realize women are illogical. So that woman can't exist. Yeah, I'm sorry to break it to you like that. But he's got high hopes. So did all of us. So did all of us.
Said, the real one for you, the real woman, wouldn't put you in that predicament. Won't.
Yes, she would. Yes, she would. And she can't help herself. She's not doing it out of malice. She's just an idiot. So, she would.
Set these standards that you have to meet.
You know what's crazy, Murder? It's funny that you said this. Me and Bezo was riding here, and this girl called me and was like, yo, I'm homeless now. No, she ain't say that. She said, yo, I'm stranded. I said, where you stranded? She said, I'm just outside the hotel. I said, where you gotta go? She's like, I don't know. I said, if you don't got nowhere to go, how you stranded? That's not, if you stranded means you're trying to get somewhere. She said,
you don't have a ride there.
Right, she's like, well, I'm homeless. And I'm like, and this is gonna be a topic on Talk with Flea. What do you do when you sell pussy and it's not selling?
Oh my
Whoa.
God. Oh my God.
Whoa. I want to save it. I didn't want to do it with Murder, but I just listened to you talk about it. What do you do? You sell pussy and not selling. What's the next step? What she wanted to be? Esthetician? She said.
She said cosmetician.
Yeah. I said, how much does it cost to go to school? She said, I said, you haven't put much thought into this.
So, women, you heard me talking about marriage and being young, and what does one do when the cat ain't cattin'? You leave it in the comments, women, and let us guys know.
In Oklahoma, there have been more drownings that are unexplained, people disappearing on the water, on lakes in this area, than any other place in the world.
I'm in Oklahoma. I did not go looking for this. The algorithm must knows. Oh, let's scare this guy with water stories.
A lot of people attribute this to what they believe is some sort of giant aquatic creature that lives in 3 lakes in Oklahoma. Now, I've researched, I've studied this extensively.
Is that your house or a green screen?
I believe, without a doubt, there is something residing in Lake Thunderbird. Now, this story comes from actually Lake Thunderbird. There was this fisherman who said one night he went out on his bass boat and he was out in the middle of the lake. He had cast several lines out and he said he was just sitting there in his boat. He said, it was just a calm, clear night. The moon was out. There wasn't another boat in sight. And he said he just got this eerie feeling. And he noticed just how calm, how still and placid the water was.
That's when the eerie feelings come. Like that episode of Rick and Morty where Rick said, it's too quiet. Someone was like, you skipped over quiet. He's like, shut up, bitch. That's when the monsters come out. The crickets, they stop cricketing. The trees, they stop treeing.
Which was odd. He said all of a sudden, off in the distance, he hears a loud splashing sound. And then over in the other direction, he hears another loud splashing sound. And then in another direction, he hears this loud splashing sound. And he said as he looked out over the water with the moonlight shining on it, he started to see sort of this wake appear, and something very large was moving in the water towards his boat. And it got within a few meters, and then he said it just submerged it, and the water was calm. And so he said, you know what, I'm out of here, I'm pulling the lines in, and I'm going to leave.
That better had happened so fast that he didn't have time when he heard the 1, 2, 3 splashes to say, I'm pulling the lines in, I'm out of here.
So he started reeling his lines in, and he said the next thing he remembers, like, he felt this sharp pain up the back of his leg all the way to his back. And he finds himself flying out of the boat into the water and going under. And he said the water was just murky, dark. He couldn't see anything. Something had a hold of him and was pulling him under. And he said that's when he sees these 2 luminous eyes that are staring at him. And he just started to fight as hard as he could to get out of, like, whatever this was, hold. He said he managed to get free, and he starts swimming towards the light of his boat, gets up in his boat, and he just accelerates towards the shore. He gets to the dock, gets out of the boat, and he goes up to the shore. And that's when he notices he has several lacerations all up his leg and all up his back. And he said right at that moment he heard a loud splashing sound right by the dock. And he said there was this canoe that was tied off. And he said these, like tentacles, came out of the water, grabbed onto this canoe, and submerged this thing. And he said it just terrified him, and he ran out of there and has not been back to this place since.
Demons can shapeshift. I hope we remember that.
The second story takes place in the same area at the RV park. There was a woman who was staying there. She takes her dog one night for a walk along the lake. And she said she just remembered hearing splashing sounds coming from the water. And at first she thought it was just like a fish, but she said, you know, whatever it was really large. As she's walking along the water line, she said she just kept hearing the splashing, like whatever this was following her. Then it got quiet for a little bit, and she said, well, it must be gone, whatever it was. She said the next thing she knows, her dog just starts barking and alerting her to something. She looks up ahead, and she said she sees this thing that was as large as a cow, and it's dragging itself along the shore. And she said her dog managed to slip the leash and takes off running towards this thing. She hears her dog yelp. This thing grabbed her dog and just starts dragging it into the water. And she said, it just threw her off guard and like terrified her. And she couldn't believe that there was something in the water that could take a 90-pound dog and just drag it into the water like it was nothing.
It's the water. It can do what it wants to. You know what? That's just me being from the urban area. Or could it just be a cultural thing? Black people, we are afraid of a lot of stuff.
This third story comes once again in the same general area.
It's a third story in this area? Why do y'all keep going there?
There was a man went out fishing one night on the shore, and he said, he cast his line out, and the next thing he knows, he said he's seen this just bright light in the sky. And he said he noticed it just kept getting brighter and brighter, and that's when he could see that this was some sort of like ball of light. And he said it just hovered over the lake, and it was kind of moving back and forth. And then he said it dropped down and it went into the water, and he watched the thing submerge. And he said he could see like the glow of it as it went under the water, and then it just disappeared. So the next thing he knows, they're splashing right where his line is cast out. And he said he just dropped this pole and he ran off. And he said that like shook him up pretty bad, and he thinks that whatever was in that lake was associated to whatever that light was.
One of the most asked questions here is who filmed the craft leaving the moon in 1972?
That's easy. The cameraman. And we all know the cameraman never dies. You gotta do better than that. Come on now.
Filmed the Apollo 17 lunar module leaving the moon. NASA says it was a Westinghouse color TV camera mounted on the lunar rover and remotely controlled from Earth. This happened in 1972 during the final Apollo mission.
Wait, you controlled remotely the camera on the moon from Earth, and my Wi-Fi be going in and out when I do my TikTok lives? Come on now, dog. Come on, not mine.
According to NASA, an operator at Mission Control in Houston anticipated the launch, manually tilting the camera upwards to follow the ascent, despite a 1.3-second delay in signals between Earth and the moon. But here's where things don't add up. How did a NASA operator perfectly track a rocket launch with 1970s technology and a delay? Even modern space feeds struggle with lag today. If the camera had a pre-programmed movement, why don't we see this level of precision in modern space missions? And what about the lunar dust? Why wasn't there a massive cloud kicked up by the engine blast? Then there's the power source. The camera was battery-powered, using silver zinc batteries. But how did they survive the extreme lunar temperatures and function flawlessly at the exact right moment? And what happened after the lunar module left? NASA says the camera kept broadcasting for about 4 minutes before they lost the signal. Forever. They never got that signal back. No more live footage was ever transmitted from the moon. No other camera was left running, and we've never seen high-quality continuous footage of the moon after Apollo ended. Convenient? And the final point, just look at it, please. Look at it. So, was this an incredible technical achievement or something else?
Thank you to my channel members. We said thank you. Ha! To my channel members. No diddy when I say member. Thank you. To my channel members. Fuck you if you're not a member. Nah, I'm just kidding. But seriously, join. Thank you.